Today we're going to start anatomy, and we're going to be starting with building blocks of the human body. We're then going to move on to the skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system, and circulatory system. But before we do that, the first thing that we're going to be talking about are cells. And then when you get groups of cells together, you end up with tissues. When you get two or more tissues of different kinds together, you get an organ. And then when you have groups of organs working together, you actually have a body system. So everything builds on each other. Okay, so there's two kinds of anatomy: gross anatomy and microscopic anatomy. Now the word gross just means large. If you have a gross of whatever, a gross of toothpicks, you have 144 toothpicks. So gross just means a large amount, or it's larger. And obviously microscopic means that it's very, very small. So gross anatomy are parts of the anatomy that we can see with the naked eye. And then microscopic anatomy is the study of structures too small to be seen except through a microscope. And obviously anatomy is the study of organs and systems of the body. Okay, physiology is the study of the functions that the organs and systems perform. So we learn about the heart, and then we learn about what the heart does. That's physiology. Or we learn about the skin, and then we learn about what the skin does. Again, that's physiology. So it's different. Anatomy, we're looking at the actual parts. Physiology, we're looking at what those parts do. Okay, and again, like I said at the beginning, we start with cells. We build on that to create tissues. We build on that for organs and build on that for body systems. So let's talk a little bit about the cell. Okay, it's the basic unit of living matter. And inside of the cell is protoplasm, which is a gel-like substance that contains water, salt, and nutrients that are obtained from food when we eat. Cells can vary in their size, shape, color, and function. And luckily for us, we don't have to learn too many parts of the cell. So we basically focus on three different parts. The nucleus, which is the control center of the cell, tells it what to do. The cytoplasm, which is the production center. You can see it there. It's actually in the protoplasm. Okay, protoplasm is like the jelly-like substance that fills it up. The cytoplasm is inside of that. And then the cell membrane is the outer surface. So for purposes of our test, at the most, you're going to need four parts of the cell that you'll need to know. Okay, how do cells grow and divide? Through mitosis. Okay, they split. You have one cell and it splits. The nucleus divides in half, and you have two daughter cells, and then they split, and then they split, and they split, and it goes on and on and on, and it multiplies very, very rapidly. Okay, metabolism. Cells receive nutrients for growth and reproduction. Okay, anabolism is basically when we eat. So we're building up food or storing food. And catabolism is when we release energy. So I'm going to run a 5K race. I'm going to do carb loading with pasta the night before. And then I'm going to go out and I'm going to release all that energy that I have stored through catabolism. Anabolism, catabolism. And metabolism, I'm sure you've heard that word many times. Some people have a fast metabolism. It seems like they can eat anything they want and they never gain weight. Some people have a slow metabolism. If they even look at food, they gain weight. So these two work together. You eat and then you expend the energy. And it just depends basically on genetics, how you're put together, how that all works out. Okay, taking the food in and using up the food that you've taken in. So this is a little dark, but if you think of cannibalism, okay, a person eating human flesh. So your body's basically using up the food that it has stored. It's basically eating the food that's in itself. Okay, if that helps you remember. Also, A comes before C, if that helps you remember that way. Okay, all right, then we go to tissues, groups of cells of the same kind. So there's 5 primary types of tissue. Epithelial, which covers and protects something. Now, our skin is called epithelial tissue, but we also have epithelial tissue covering our organs. Covers and protects something. Connective holds your body together. So an example could be like ligaments and cartilage. Nerve tissue carries messages. Obviously, we have nerves all throughout our body. Muscular produces motion. Without muscles, we couldn't move. And liquid, blood and lymph, which carries our food, gets rid of our waste products, and carries hormones to all parts of our body. Okay, then we go to organs. Separate body structures that perform specific functions, and it's composed of 2 or more different tissues. So we've got the brain, the eyes, the heart, the lungs, the stomach and intestines, liver, kidneys, and skin. Now, which is the largest organ? It is our skin. I know none of us think of our skin as being an organ. We think of it being something inside of our body, but our skin is our largest organ. Okay, then we go to systems, groups of body structures and or organs that together perform functions for the body. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 systems. All right, skeletal. Again, that's going to be the first one we're going to cover after this. That's our bones, our muscles, then our heart and our veins and arteries, our circulatory. Then we're going to talk about our nervous system. We actually have 3 different kinds of nervous systems in our body. These we're just going to cover very briefly. Digestive, excretory when we're trying to get rid of waste, respiratory when we breathe, endocrine, which are glands that secrete hormones into our body, reproductive, and integumentary. Again, a strange word that means basically the skin and the structures of our skin. So 10 different body systems. So there's just a little graphic that shows you cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, organs make up systems. All right. True or false? Cells are the basic units of living matter. And that is true. True or false? Cells have 4 basic parts. Okay, so they're going to say 3 basic parts would be the cytoplasm, the nucleus, and the cell membrane. All right, the study of organs and the systems of the body is called anatomy. The study of the functions of organs and body systems is called physiology. The control center of the cell is the nucleus. Cells are composed of a gel-like substance called protoplasm. Groups of cells of the same kind make up tissues. The type of tissue that holds the body together is known as connective. Body structures